everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make this card. It's called a balcony card, and when you lay it flat, lays flat to go into the envelope like so. Now this is my prototype, so please don't look at this because I have actually changed the measure, the pieces a little bit around. So that's our card. So if you can see inside, you've got your main card and then you've got like one balcony there and then another one across the front. So it sits up really lovely. Your writing panel is on the back, which is really great, and it is a regular size card, even though it looks tiny. It isn't. It is the same as a regular card, except that it's all on one piece of card, so instead of two pieces. So it all fits together like this at the bottom, so you can actually see what it looks like from that side there. It lays flat, and I'm going to actually do one using, let me pop that one out of the way for a minute. Where am I going to put it? Oh, there will do. Alright, I'm going to be using the Adventurous Skies again, because I actually really like this set, and so I'm going to use this. Now I've done a lot of the stamping already because of colouring in, so I've actually stamped this large aeroplane here and this next size down, and my happy birthday on the banner. Now I'll show you that in the set here, which I haven't used all the dies. I've got all the stamps out there. I've used this large one, and this banner thing that flies on the back of an aeroplane. This one I've cut out as well, so I've cut out this plane, the banner, and two of this one. So that's what we're going to be using. I'm actually going to be using more parts than that. I'm actually using this smaller cloud, this small aeroplane, and You're the Best, plain and simple as well. So I've got all the stamps out here so you can see they're a good size. This is on the E block, so this is a good size. Let me see if I can get my tape measure and measure it for you. It measures around the 3.5 inches in length for that one. So I've cut that one out and I've stamped him and cut him out. I've actually cut this one out, which is the next size down, and this measures around the 2.5 inch mark. So we've done that one, and I've also stamped the happy birthday, which I'll show you in a moment. We've still got the others to do, so let's pop this up here out of the way. And I'm going to be using, I'm not sure about the memento, but I'm going to be using boho blue and copper clay for my stamping. Alright, so let me show you. It looks all like lots of tiny pieces. Now I've got a couple of pieces of window sheet here, which I'm going to put my little aeroplanes up on, but this is going to be something that's optional extra, so it will not be in the what's my call it? Get up, Penny. Will not be in the tutorial, because it will depend on what you're actually making, what design you're making. So that's the banner thing. So we've got to glue that bit to that bit, which I'll do right now, because that's going to take a little while to set. Yuck, this is really getting horrible, this glue pot. So let me pop that onto there. So I cut the banner itself out of white, but the lead thing that it sits on out of a little bit of silver foil card. So that's that bit, and that's the other aeroplane when he's cut out, when he's coloured and cut out. So he's coloured in it's not boho blue because I don't have the blenders for that. It's balmy blue and crumb cake. So I'm actually going to leave those two bits like that. Alright, so let me show you what you need. I'm going to pop this all in order, as there's a lot of scoring as well. Alright, so our main card is going to be 6 inches by 4 1/8. Then we're going to need 2 layers for the front of the card, that measure 2 3/4 by 3 7/8, and 2 more layers the same for the back, which measure 2 3/4 by 3 7/8. Then 2 pieces of designer series paper, and I'm going to make sure I've got them around the right way so that pattern matches up. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Yep, that way. Get them around the right way. Okay, and they both measure 2.5 by 3 5/8, and these pieces of white here measure exactly the same, 2.5 by 3 5/8. For the next layer, which I'm on the tutorial will be called middle, this is 2 inches by 5 inches, and then you'll need 2 pieces for your layer which measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and 2 pieces of, let me get my clouds up the correct way, DSP that measure 1.5 by 1.5. Then for my front layer, and that's what this piece is called, it's a piece that is 7 inches by 1 1/4 inches, and then you will need 2 pieces that measure 2 3/4 by 1 inch. Oh, I couldn't say it the other way around, it just wouldn't come out. And then 2 pieces that measure 2.5 by 3/4 inch, like so. So let's put all our layers and our pieces on one side, like so. And we're going to work on our main piece of card first. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. Oops, and there goes my scoring tool on the floor. Oh. Fell out the board. Okay. Alright, I'm back again. Alright, so this piece measures the 6 inches by 4 1/8, and we're actually going to score this using the small end of the ball at the 3 inch mark. So we're going to fold and burnish that piece of card. I'm going to move this out of the way because we're going to work on each section as we go. So fold and burnish this, making sure that it's nice and even on all the sides. And as you can see, it's getting colder here because I've got a jumper on today. Alright, so I'm going to layer my 2 front pieces together. Now the paper that I'm using for this is out of the same suite, so it all matches up. I just thought it was really lovely. And I'm using smoky slate and copper clay here. I'm just going to make sure that I've got them the correct way around again. Yep, they're the same way. So it doesn't really matter. It's just one of those things that I thought would look nice if it does sort of continue on. You do have to remember that you are working with these pieces in portrait. So you need to make sure that your image, if it's got a direction on it, is a portrait image. Okay, I'm going to give them a rub down, and what we're going to do next is we're actually going to stamp our back ones so we can put them on, because it's easier to put them on now than it is later. Now I like to write on the right hand side because that feels like a normal card that way, so I'm going to bring in my boho blue, if I can open it. There we go, and I'm going to stamp some clouds around on this sheet. And a few on this one as well. I won't close that up in case I decide to put more clouds on the one. I'm going to stamp this little aeroplane here. And I'm going to stamp another one just here for this one. And I will put another cloud in there. Let me bring in this piece of paper and I can stamp that off the edge. So that's my left hand side of my card. My right hand side, so I think I can close this one up now. I'm going to stamp the words, "You're the best," plain and simple. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring that paper back in and I'm going to stamp just part of this plane over here like this. There's still enough room for me to write around there, so now that's all the stamping I'm going to do because I've done the rest of the stamping. So these pieces are going to go on here and then onto the back of the card. Would you believe we're at the end of May already? My goodness. The 1st of June is the first day of winter here in Australia. Official day. It is, that's not very straight, is it? That's better. Alright, so I'm going to turn this over, making sure I've got this the correct way, so I'm turning it over this way to put these on, because I don't want my writing panels to be on upside down. And I think I'm going to be giving this card to my dad for his birthday. Okay, so that's our main part of the card, and it seems very thick at the moment. So we're going to pop that on one side, and we're going to bring in our next section. And we're going to pop those ones on the side, and I'm going to score this piece. So let's bring in this piece, and this is a piece that measures 5 inches by 2 inches. So it's 2 inches high by 5 inches long. And we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. Whoops, 2.5 inches and 4.5 inches. And I have cut them, yep, correctly. I thought I must have cut them wrong. Okay, so we're going to fold all of these end ones as mountain folds and the one in the middle. So all of these are mountain folds. And then we're going to add our layers, which are the 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 and our 1.5 by 1.5 pieces of DSP. At this stage, because these are square, it doesn't matter which way you put them on. It just matters when you put it on to the front of the card. So I need to make sure it's up the correct way when I'm putting my clouds on, and that will apply for anything that has a direction on it. So decide which way is up for you. This is going to be my up, and I'm going to glue those onto there. This is going to be the top, I should say, not my up. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? Okay, we've done that bit. Now what we need to do is we need to put this so that it is flush with the bottom of the card, and this join here, score line here, matches up with this score line. So pop some glue onto your tabs at the end. And I found just holding it up the opposite way and bringing that into the middle so that that all matches up, and you can see that it's lined up with the bottom of the card. Once you're happy with that, tuck those tabs under, give them a good press down, lift it up a little bit, and then give them a press down underneath there, making sure that it's definitely sitting flat on this bench top, on your table. Now I'm not going to put my little aeroplanes in there until we're finished, so I'm going to bring in the next section. So we'll pop that out of the way and these out of the way as well, and we will bring in a scoreboard for the final time, and we're going to score this piece, which is 1 1/4 by 7 inches. So we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, 3 1/2 inches, and 6 1/2 inches. So that is halfway. And once again, we are going to fold and burnish all these score lines exactly the same as before. They're all mountain folds. Oops. Then we'll bring in our pieces again, and this time you need to make sure that if you've got a directional pattern, it is going landscape. And which way up does this one go? I really don't know. That way up, that's it. I can just see it now because there's not very much cloud on that bit. But I do love that cloud paper. I sometimes wish that they would sell them in the pack and then you can buy individual sheets, because I would like more of the clouds and less of the others, but that's just me. Other people might want more of another one. Okay. So we decided that was the way up for that, didn't we? I don't know if it is. It's a really hard one, this one. I'm going to put it that way up. My aeroplane is going to cover it anyway, so if it's upside down, it's upside down. Alright, so we're going to bring this in once again, our main card, and once again we want to line this middle section, this middle score line, up with the middle score line here. So once again we're going to pop some glue onto our little tabs. Come here. And making sure that you've got your pattern up the correct way. We want it to line up with there and the bottom of the card, exactly like we did with the other one. Once you're happy with that, pop your tab down and under on both sides. Give them a good press down, and then you can then press them down nice and tightly like so. So now we have our main card just done. It's just a matter of decorating it. So I'm going to bring in my little aeroplanes, And I have put red liner tape on these because of the fact that I actually find that it sticks nicer. So I'm going to pop one plain on each of these. And let me pop one on each of them. Come on. That last piece came off really nicely. This one's going to play havoc. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? There we go, come on. Alright. So I've got these planes on here. Oops. And I'm going to then pull the tape off the other end. Well, I am if it wants to come. This piece is playing games with me, as you can see. There we go, get off of there. And I'm going to pop that just inside so that it looks like it's in the air. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. Isn't that funny how one came away really nicely and the other one didn't? So making sure that I get all of my red liner tape inside. So my aeroplanes are sitting up like so, and you can see that. I'll pocket it on that angle so you can see that the aeroplanes are sitting up. With this one here, now I'm going to have to glue this piece to the back of this plane. So I'm going to pop some glue onto the back of there. Ooh, I nearly dropped that. And pop that onto the back of the plane here. I'm letting that set for a few seconds. With this one I'm actually going to put it up on some dimensionals. Where's the smaller ones? Oh gosh, all these big ones here. There we go. I'm not going to put any up the top because I want him hanging off the top a bit. So I'm going to put a few of the small ones along this end. And there. So he's going to sit on there like so. I'm just going to make sure how high up I can go. Okay, so about halfway. I think I might move that one down a little bit if I can. Let's get rid of those. And I'll put a couple of small ones in there because I want to move it down a tiny bit more. And I'm going to put one just there. So that sits nicely as well. Okay, let's pull all the backings off. As I had this idea for this card in my mind, and I hadn't made one before, I think we've done really well. Just a couple of little things that weren't quite what we wanted. Now I'm going to stand this one up again because I want to actually make sure that I get all of them on there. Yes, 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 yes. And my happy birthday. So there's my card. Oh look, I am so happy with the way that has turned out. He looks so gorgeous. What do you think? Shall we put on a few of these trinkets? Oops. These are the ones that come with oops. Sorry. Didn't mean to knock you over. With the sweet. Let's put them in the bin. Put the lid in my glue because otherwise it'll dry out even if it is chilly. And I'm going to pop a couple of these on here. And one more. Just where I haven't... Oh, he came off. He didn't like being there. He didn't like to be on that spot. Might have something to do with the fact that there's no glue dot on the back of that. The same as there's none on the back of that one. Where in heaven's name did those glue dots go to? Probably stuck to my fingers or something silly like that. Yep, that one's come on there now. And the last one here. Like so. Okay, that's our card for today. What do you think? I hope you've enjoyed that. I love the way that's turned out with the planes flying in the air. What do you think? I'll hold it up like this so you can see it so much better. And let me move back a tiny bit. I think it's just so definitely 3D with these flying out like so. And I'm just going to make sure that they're on there nice and tightly. That's it. I think he's gorgeous. I'm going to pop him there for you to have a quick gander at, along with the other one, which was done with the set that has retired a few years ago. And that is the card for today. This is called a balcony card. If you'd like the written tutorial for that, head down below here. You'll find my link to my Facebook group called Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. There you will find the written tutorial, which will be called the same name, and it will go live on the same day at the same time. And all my things go live at 8 AM South Australian time. So if you've enjoyed that, I'd love to see you in my group. Please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any more of my videos. And if you would like to know more about this set and you live in Australia and you'd like to purchase it, I'd love to be your demonstrator. So please feel free to contact me and I will help you as much as I can. Okay, thank you for everything and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.